What's up everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything physical media and entertainment. I am Ken, and today guys, we are here to talk about Black Adam on 4K. So I did get this in from Warner Brothers about a week ago. It was an early review copy, and I got a chance to watch this. I actually watched it with my son, and I wanted to get my thoughts out on this release before it comes out this Tuesday. It's supposed to come out on January the 3rd, and I'm going to talk about the movie. I'm going to talk about the 4K visuals, going to talk about the audio, special features, all that good stuff, packaging as well. But look, before we get into it, Happy New Year. This is the first video that I am filming of 2023, so that's exciting, right? Happy New Year. And yeah, we're going to talk about this first big release of 2023. What better way to kick off the year then talk about Black Adam, right? It just feels like New Year's. The Rock, like, he's awesome. But anyway, look, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We talk about physical media, 4Ks, Blu-rays, owning the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me. If you're a fan of that kind of stuff, hit the subscribe button. Also, be sure to like this video, and then comment down below, guys. Did you see Black Adam in theaters? What'd you think of it? Did you watch it on streaming? It is streaming right now on HBO Max. You know, what's your thoughts on the movie? Are you going to purchase this 4K? Let me know in the comment section below. It is available for purchase and pre-order right now off of Amazon for $29.99. So, which is pretty much par for the course when it comes to like a new superhero movie, DC, Marvel, whatever. But yeah, let's get into talking about this movie. I am not the biggest like superhero guy. I used to watch the Marvel movies. I used to get into that MCU stuff. Of course, I watched Batman and stuff when I was a kid, but I'm not like super into this kind of stuff anymore. So going into this movie, my son was excited to see it, so I was happy to watch it with him. But going into this movie, and this movie's been in development for like 10 years. Like, this is like a passion project from Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. Like, he's really wanted to play this character. And getting into the special features a little bit, watching him talk about the character and the special features actually, you know, made me appreciate him in this movie a little bit more, because you could tell he just has a lot of passion for this character, and I appreciate that. So this is something he's been wanting to do for the longest time, and it took him forever to get this thing rolling and greenlit. So it finally came out, and The Rock finally got to play Black Adam, and he was all set for a Black Adam 2, and then, you know, James Gunn came in and said, no, we're not doing any of that crap anymore. So I don't know if we're going to get a Black Adam 2. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. Who knows? Okay, so where am I going with this review? So anyway, I didn't have the highest expectations going into this movie, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But to be honest, like, I really kind of enjoyed this. It's not a masterpiece. It's not like a great superhero movie or anything. It's not a great movie by any means, but I enjoyed it. I had fun watching it. I think what this movie does very well is it leans into the action like hardcore. Like, from beginning to end, it's like wall-to-wall action. And they deliver the story and the exposition like almost through the action set pieces. They don't like stop and talk for like 15, 20 minutes at a time. Like, it's just pure action and set piece like the entire movie, which can seem a little bit too much. You know, it might seem like a little bit too much for some people. But I think it works for this movie because the story itself isn't the best. It's not the strongest. And in some points, it's kind of dumb. So to kind of, you know, layer over top of that these big, dumb action set piece moments like with The Rock, I think was really smart. And it kind of led to this movie, I think, being more enjoyable than it would have been. It's not boring. Like, it's not boring by any means. Like, that's what I was afraid of watching this movie. I was like, I'm going to be bored by this. It's going to be dull. And it wasn't. Like, it was really very entertaining the entire way through. So I appreciated it for that. As for The Rock, it's a strange role for The Rock. It kind of feels like The Rock at the beginning of his acting career. Like, it feels way more like Scorpion King. And you got the like Egyptian, like Middle Eastern setting. And this movie, I don't think it's set in Egypt. It's set somewhere else. I don't know exactly where it's set, but it's in that Middle Eastern type setting. So you get those same kind of like Scorpion King mummy vibes in this movie. So he kind of feels more like Rock, like in the early part of his career, just like really, you know, monotone and just really like almost trying to be that actor type. There's not a lot of comedy come from The Rock. I guess what I'm trying to say is he doesn't really show that Rock charisma and charm, which is kind of strange to me. Like, if The Rock is gonna be in a movie, like, that's what you come to expect from The Rock. Like, you expect that high energy, that high charisma, You expect that from The Rock, and you don't really get that. He's very monotone. He's very stoic in the role of Black Adam. So it's kind of strange to watch him like that, but he does get some like little comedy beats here and there, kind of like the Terminator, you know, from T2. Like it's only funny because he is playing it so straight. And to be honest, the jokes aren't that good, but it's just, I don't know, some hit better than others, I would say. There's a nice joke like involving him like never using a door. He just crashes into every building. And I thought that was pretty funny because the whole movie I was like, is anybody going to acknowledge the fact that he's just literally going through walls to get in every room? And then when they finally did, it was satisfying. So yeah, it's just kind of weird. He's very bland. He's very, I guess, boring, but he's also entertaining at the same time. But just the character, it's not your typical kind of rock role. It is very much more like his early 2000 stuff, like early career rock stuff. I would say he's not like he is in Jumanji and some of the other fun Jungle Cruise, some of the other fun family stuff he's been doing recently, which I guess, this isn't really that type of movie. It's a darker type of movie, but it does have comedy and it is kind of fun in parts too. It's not like all dark and doom and gloom. So he's just like kind of the only dull character in the film. And I enjoyed most of the characters in this movie. I don't know everybody's name, but Pierce Brosnan is in this film. So James Bond is in this movie. I think that he's very good in the film. And I don't know. What do you want me to say? It's not a terrible movie. I thought it was going to be terrible. And it wasn't. I actually enjoyed it. The story's really nothing. There is a nice twist somewhere in the middle that I didn't expect. But the action's all cool. It all, is very entertaining. It's very energetic. It is very like overly CGI, which you come to expect from these type of superhero movies. At this point, not everything looks the best at times. And look, we got to talk about the end credit scene with, is this a spoiler? I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. I feel like everybody knows this, but if you don't want to be spoiled at all, you don't know anything. Henry Cavill shows up as Superman in the post-credit scene, and it's awesome, but at the same time, knowing all the stuff that we know now, it's also very sad, and it just makes you kind of go, oh man, it's like, I really want this. Like, I really want Henry Cavill to come back and do a Man of Steel 2. And I would honestly like really love to see a Black Adam versus Superman like after this movie. So yeah, it's strange, but Black Adam might be one of my favorite superhero movies of 2022. But I haven't seen everything. I did see, Black Panther 2, but I think I definitely like it better than Thor. And a part of me was more entertained by this movie than I was the Batman. But I'm not saying it's a better movie than the Batman, but I think it just flows a little bit better than the Batman. Like there's really nothing boring about this movie. There's no boring parts at all. But yeah, I just have fun. Maybe because I watched it with my son too, and he really enjoyed it. And we just had a good time watching it together. But anyway, Black Adam. Look, I'll give this movie a solid 3.5 out of 5. I think it's fun. Like, I think it's fun. You turn your brain off, enjoy a fun comic book movie with The Rock, and I enjoyed it. Let's get into talking about the 4K visuals here. So I thought that this looked fantastic. So I have my LG OLED C2 TV, and this was just extremely sharp picture quality. Just looked fantastic. The clarity was extraordinary. And I just thought this looked great, like with the HDR and the black levels. They were super deep. The blacks were super deep. Just all the colors. Like this has a very like gold, silver, black just aesthetic to it. I don't know how to describe it, but just like the scenery and just the background, like the sky is always looks like the sun is setting. So it just has like this kind of gloomy black, gray, gold, like dreary aesthetic to it with all like the landscape and the buildings and stuff. And all that stuff looked great, like the contrast between like the blacks and the rich like golds and all that stuff. It just all that looked phenomenal. But it's everything, like the facial detail, like it was spectacular. Like it looked really amazing to me on my TV. So I can't say enough good things about the 4K here. Now, I did watch a little bit on HBO Max to compare it because I know it's on HBO Max right now. And a lot of people are going to be saying, why should I pick up the disc? It's on HBO Max. I watched it on HBO Max. It looks good on HBO Max. And to be honest, like I've seen some phenomenal 4K UHD stuff on HBO Max. House of Dragon looked great on HBO Max. But to be honest, when I watched Black Adam, I was like, I don't know this. I don't know what's going on. Maybe my streaming wasn't buffering properly or whatnot. But it looked not blurry. It didn't look blurry, but it didn't look as sharp as it did on 4K. But it just goes to show you guys that disc always wins. The actual physical disc always wins when you're versing it against streaming, because streaming can only do so much. But I thought it looked great compared to streaming. Like, it looked good on streaming, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as sharp. It wasn't as crisp. I could definitely tell the difference. And also with the black levels as well. Like, it just felt like it had a higher contrast between the colors and the blacks and the grays and stuff on the actual 4K disc. So yeah, no comparison to me. Watching on HBO Max versus the actual disc. Disc always wins, in my opinion. And Black Adam on 4K physical disc was just phenomenal. Thought it looked great. This also has Dolby Atmos, and it sounded phenomenal. Like I said, there is wall-to-wall action in this movie. Like, it never stops. Like, the action never stops in this film. And everything sounds great. Like, there's buildings coming down. The score is like blaring. The score in this movie is actually pretty phenomenal. Which, to be honest, like, the score at times could kind of detract from the actual dialogue itself. But that's more of a filmmaking choice, I think, than it is an actual problem with the sound. But I thought it sounded great. Like, there's buildings coming down, just stuff happening all the time with all the superheroes and stuff. You got the Atom Smasher growing big and throwing stuff around everywhere. You got the girl that's doing the cyclone stuff. But everything sounds phenomenal. Black Adam's, like I said, going through buildings. All of it sounded great. Like, I had it way up because me and my son watched it during the day. I had like the sound way up blasting, and it sounded phenomenal. Like, it just sounded like everything was happening all around you. So the Dolby Atmos was excellent in this release. And let's get into it. Well, I'll do a little bit of an unboxing here, but I really love the slipcover. It's just such a clean, nice slipcover. I love the metallic banner up at the top of the 4K. And, you got all the special features and the casting list, all the specs and stuff on the back. Some really cool, sharp images of the movie. And yeah, just some really nice packaging. I love the sticker down the bottom, the 100-year anniversary of Warner Brothers. I imagine they're going to put this on every Warner Brothers, 4K Blu-ray release. I don't know if they're going to put it on the Blu-rays, but if they put it on the 4Ks, hey, I'm not complaining. It's a nice, cool little gimmick to do for this year only, for the 100th year anniversary. But getting into the special features, guys, they loaded this with special features. There's like 8 or 9 featurettes just talking about the making of this movie, just the origin of this movie, just kind of going back. They also give you a history lesson on the character of Black Adam. So I watched a few of these and really learned a lot about the origin of this character and how he ties into the other superheroes, and how far back the character of Black Adam actually goes. Like, he was in the Justice Society before the Justice League was even a thing. So this is a very old character in the DC, legacy canon. And yeah, so I thought all that stuff was really cool. Like I said, they also go into the Rock's passion for the character, which I thought was pretty cool. So sometimes, a lot of times, like, I'll like a movie okay, and then I'll go and watch all the special features, and they will make me like the movie more. So I think that's kind of what happened here. Like, I thought the movie was good. Like, I had fun watching it. But watching all the special features and them going into the making of this, and just how long it took them, just how long the process was to make this, it just made me gain a greater appreciation for it. So I think that kind of bumped it up like half a star for me in my score. But yeah, Black Adam, look, to be honest, guys, and I'm not just saying this because Warner Brothers sent this to me. I'm not just saying, I know some people think that. But I would recommend you get this, because especially if you haven't seen it, visually it looks fantastic. It's a fun movie. I really think it's a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed The Rock in it. Enjoyed all the characters and the performances. I mean, you got freaking Pierce Brosnan in this movie, and Pierce Brosnan is great. Like, he's great in this movie. And I just had a lot of fun with it. I don't know what you want me to say. I liked Black Adam. I'm a fan of Black Adam. So there you go. It's available on January the 3rd for $29.99 on 4K. You can also get the Blu-ray for $24.99. There's also a really nice Best Buy exclusive Steelbook that's coming out, I think for $35.99 is the price point on that. So yeah, I recommend getting this. It sounds awesome, looks awesome. It's a fun movie and loads of special features. Like there's a good hour and a half worth of special features in this release. So absolutely recommend that you pick it up. But thank you guys for watching my review of Black Adam on 4K. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on all my social media accounts down below, and we'll see you next time.